Welcome to Selling Out.
Coming up on today's episode.
On my 18th birthday, they got me a policewoman's stripper bra.
Did they actually?
So when a customer comes in, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, I don't mind that you're gay, but I don't know why you can't keep it behind closed doors.
The village we're from has a bus that comes, but you have to ring them the day before to let them know.
Before we welcome today's guests, a quick thank you to our brilliant sponsors.
Yeah, if you're heading to Brighton and you want to make the trip legendary, quite literally, book your stay at Legends Hotel right on the seafront and just steps away from the city's best nightlife.
They're also the home to some of Brighton's hottest drag shows, so you can sleep, sip and party all in one place.
Book at legendsresortbrighton.com and tell them we sent you.
And if your current headache is less, where am I staying this weekend, and more, how do I buy this house?
Mortgage Medics have you covered. They specialise in straightforward, no drama mortgage advice, whether you're buying your first place, moving up or refinancing.
Their team take the stress out of the process, find the right deal for you, and make sure you're smiling long after you got those keys.
Basically, they're your home-owning headache cure.
So go to mortgage-medics.com and tell them we sent you.
Welcome, Byron Todd and Sam Johnson.
Hello.
From the Brighton and Hove Sea Serpents.
Welcome to Selling Out. And for those that are actually watching us, you can see we're in a new location.
Yeah, look, we've gone into the front room as opposed to the back room today.
I want to know who decided to put the little seagull there, because that's very cute.
That's Birdie the seagull. You're ruining the illusion. This is our living room.
We should have bought
We're just next door to our other studio.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Welcome, and for our listeners, it is a rugby special, inclusive rugby special today with our two lovely guests. So please, before we go any further, let us know what letter of the alphabet are you, and what are your pronouns, please?
Letter B, Byron, and my pronouns are he, him.
Lovely, thank you.
I wanted to think of a really cool answer to that, and all I can think of is the letter S for Sam as well. Actually, the letter Sam for Sea Serpents. Sam S Sea Serpents and Sam. And my pronouns are he, him too.
He, him. We've had all sorts of. We've had a lovely B&Q. So we had Rachel from Archangel Architects, who said bisexual and queer, most affiliates with, and so Gary rightly pointed out that
very
spells
DIY.
B&Q.
Wait, what was yours?
Mine are Q. I'm pansexual, so there's no P in the LGBTQIA. I'm the plus of there.
Our mascot's called Sally the Serpent, so you could go with Sally.
Sally,
and Sam.
Sea Serpent, everything.
Sally and Sam.
I was just saying we should have bought a little Sally and hid it in the...
I don't think I knew that about you, that you had Sally the Serpent as your... I do know.
Oh, okay. And is that a bit like Gully, for the...
A bit like that, yeah. I don't think anyone dresses up as Sally. I've never seen that before.
We have kind of, but when we've been away on tour, we always take a mascot, which is kind of meant to be a serpent, but invariably it's a snake because you can't get a serpent anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
very
idea is-
different, serpent and snake.
If you're on tour, you're supposed to steal the other team's mascots as well. It's like a thing.
They end up with little pieces.
And then there's another tradition where if someone puts like a snake, like a sweet in your drink, you have to down your drink. That's like Sally's babies. And I read this once on a tour book and was like,
babies.
what the hell is
That
this?
was probably my fault originally.
And then
Drinking down Sally's
Starting
babies.
all these traditions.
What a great start to the,
Yeah.
podcast. Drinking Sally Serpent's babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get into, obviously, we're going to talk about the wonderful sea serpents. First of all, let's start as we start every episode of Selling Out. Tell us what your first job was. Byron, what was your first job?
Okay, so if we discount the paper round
Okay.
and the job in Harvester.
Harvester. We haven't had a harvester job yet.
Well, it was a pub restaurant and it became a Harvester while I was working there. But it was all part-time while I was studying. I suppose my first job, not in my parents' businesses, was working with the dinner ladies in a public boys' school.
Oh.
Love a dinner lady.
I used to serve up the sponge and custard.
Did you? Oh my God, the nostalgia.
I can taste that. I just use
the
it.
perfect square of sponge in the middle of the pale yellow custard.
Yeah, I'm not that delicate, so it wasn't a perfect square by the time I'd slopped it out on the...
Oh, I bet. Were your dinner ladies nice dinner ladies, or were they awful, vicious dinner ladies?
Oh, they were all lovely, but they were all like in their 50s and 60s, and I was about 1920 when I went to work there. And I remember I worked on Saturdays as well because they were there, the kids there all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving about midday because I wanted to get to Pride on this Saturday and rushing up to London. And they were all like, where's he going? Where's he going?
So did they know, were you out at the time, or was that something that you would not discuss at work, or what was the deal?
Kind of. I mean, like with every job, it's always been a case of not really saying anything until I've sussed out who the people are I'm working with.
Yeah.
Because some people you don't want to talk about your business with.
You talked about that a lot. Yeah. Okay, so dinner ladies and custard.
I love that so much.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't. But I got a preview of that last night. Byron told me that because I was like, oh, you need to tell me about your first job, and he was like, dinner lady. I was like, I can't wait to hear more about this.
Love it. So for you, Sam?
My first job was working at Burger King, which was an experience. And it didn't last for very long. I worked there for maybe like a month, and it was just, I mean, no shade on Burger King, but it was awful. Like, when you're 16, you're like buzzing to get your first job, but it was just so gross. And they wouldn't even let me do all of the, like, you had to like enter this hierarchy to do all the other stuff. So like the only thing I could do was like make the same burger basically all day. And the manager there, everyone that worked there was like a bit insane, and the manager there used to like stand in the corner of the kitchen and be like, work, like shout, like it was so weird. And like at the time, everyone was like taking it, being like, okay, like that's normal. And when you look back, you're like, how was she allowed to do that? That's insane. But maybe that's where I got my incredible work ethic from. Just, I've got like PTSD of this woman shouting at me from when I was 16.
She lives in your head rent free.
Yeah.
Work, Sam, work.
And I did one like close shift there, and you have to like, all the burgers go through this like conveyor belt through like the flame thing, because they're like flame grill or whatever. And you have to clean that every night, obviously, because it's gross.
Yeah.
And you have to like basically get in this thing and like scrape it all out. It's disgusting. And when I got home, you know, like when you wash a car and the oil makes the water like rainbowy.
Yeah.
I was in the shower and all the bottom of the shower was like rainbow from all that, and I was like I can't work. I can't do this
How
anymore.
long did you last?
And I left the next day. I was like, I don't want to do this
You
anymore.
went for one day?
No, I was like for like a month or something.
Oh, a month, sorry.
Yeah, but the next day, after the rainbow thing, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's so disgusting. And you'd like come home every day just being like covered in grease.
Where in the world was this? Whereabouts?
Like in the Midlands, where I'm from. It was in a... so I'm from like the middle of nowhere, from this tiny little village.
Yeah.
Like the kind of village, the village where I'm from has a bus that comes, but you have to ring them the day before to let them know that you want the bus to come, otherwise it doesn't come.
Not still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still not?
Yeah, now it's worse. I think there's like maybe like 3 buses a day or something. There's no shop, there's no pub, there's no nothing.
my Lord.
It's just like 8 streets and like 500 old people.
So were you literally the only guy in the village?
Yeah, for a long time, yeah.
Wow.
I don't think anymore.
Wow.
Ginger. I mean,
The only ginger in the village.
So then Burger
Yeah,
King.
what are the odds? But so
Burger King was kind of your big
First.
out in the world. How far was Burger King from the
well,
village?
it's weird because the village is like in the middle of nowhere, but randomly there's like a big shopping centre like a 10-minute walk away, because it's on like right by the motorway. It's like an outlet thing, and there's Burger King in there. So, but that was like a saving grace for all the people that lived around, because there was nowhere else to work, and there's like not opportunities when you live out in the middle of nowhere.
Got you.
And then I started working at Subway, so it went from actually that was probably one of my favourite jobs I've ever had, because it was in this town where like people didn't really get Subway. Then again, I didn't really understand what it was.
Yeah.
So they'd come in and be like, "I'll just have a cheese sandwich, please." And you're like, "Do you want any,
Just
do you
cheese
want
and
any salad?"
a
They're like, "Oh no," and they didn't get that it was like the same thing. And oh god, it was such a struggle. But like nobody went in there because they just didn't get it. So I just like, me and my manager, I don't know, I hope they don't see this. My old bosses, me and my
Shout
old
out
manager.
Subway.
Oh God, it was so much fun though. We used to, so on the Sunday, to come and do a Sunday shift, and the girl that would like do the mornings would, she was like a workaholic. She'd do everything. So I'd get there at like 1 o'clock, just like waltz in my sunglasses, be like, hello. And then she'd done everything. So it was like nothing to do. We didn't have any customers. So we'd sit in the back and watch The Simple Life on my manager's laptop.
Oh, I love
just
it.
like all afternoon. But then when you're watching The Simple Life, you kind of become Paris or Nicole. So when a customer comes in, you're like, ugh, what?
Well, yeah.
which one? Go away. Like it was, and then so that was my work ethic.
You were channeling rich heiress while you were
Yeah.
in Subway serving. I've just got this
Imagine.
image of an elderly woman coming to Subway for a ham and cheese bap.
And I'm like looking at
and you've
like,
got the
what do you
whole
want?
section of all those things, all those tubs of chopped olives, chopped chili, chopped this, just sliding along. Just
She
cheese
left with
and
the
ham.
meatball marinara.
Yeah, we all sold. Yeah, she. Yeah, it was. That was the best job ever. It was so good.
amazing.
One time we ran out of bread because we were so bad at it. We're just like
Forgot to bake the bread.
We're just like, I'm just not. I'm just gonna watch The Simple Life.
I was going to ask something about that, but I
How
can't.
long were you
I'm
at
not gonna
Subway
ask
for
about
then?
something.
More than
That
a
was
month?
ages. So I was working there until I was 18, and then I went to work at a bar. Because I just
bar
wanted,
work,
that's what I wanted
that's
to do. And then I did that all through uni, worked in cocktail bars and pubs and stuff. When I say pubs, bars, my first bar job was the Wetherspoons. So I really had like the holy trinity of Burger King, Subway, Wetherspoons. It was amazing.
Wow.
It's really built some character though for me. I'll tell you that. Working at Wetherspoons is not easy.
Bet it did. God. Well, listeners will know that Gary started his career, his
McDonald's.
working
Did
in
you?
McDonald's. So yeah,
Yeah, I worked my
you
way
know
up. I
about
was there 10 years.
Were you?
Yeah.
How do you feel hearing it from the other side, from Burger King
King
being,
from
a
the
shit,
rivals.
being a shit
Yeah.
show?
It was a shit show.
I was offered a job in Burger King and I sent my uniform back before the first day.
Oh, yeah.
Did
What?
you?
Well, we had to do this test, like a group test, and it was a new one opening in Edgware. And they were giving the answers to everyone else in the room. And I was like, I can't work with these people.
Good on you.
And I sent my uniform back.
I remember how I managed a McDonald's in Northern Ireland where it was in Newton Arts Shopping Centre, and we had a Burger King, a KFC and a McDonald's.
the
So Burger
trifecta.
King, we had a trifecta. And what happened was, which was really crazy, they used to do a break swap. So they used to call the other restaurant. So if you're on your break, you call the other restaurant, and they would do like this break.
lunch.
So like, because you obviously got free food at McDonald's, so you got a free like whatever you wanted for your lunch. So they would do a break swap with someone at KFC. It was a bit mental. When I think back to that, it
everyone was eating
People
unhealthily.
used to be like, I'm calling the other. They used to call like the KFC restaurant and go, "Is anyone going in the break? They want to do a break swap?" And then they used to walk into the car park and do a swap of their lunch. What do you want from it, Matt?
Madness.
If I was involved in that, that would be the most exciting part of my day. It'd be like,
Literally, what are we going to get?
Yeah,
What are we
well,
going to
they're
get?
gonna have a KFC. That used to drive me insane. People used to be like talking about what we're gonna have. Will I get a KFC? I'm like,
So after dinner, ladies, and you're just waiting for the trips to London. To whereabouts was that you were whenever you worked with the dinner ladies?
Oh,
did you
in
say?
Mill Hill. So, like North London.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
you were in London. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you went to university, Sam? Did you go to university,
No.
Byron? Okay.
No, I went to college till I was 19, but I was doing theatre studies.
Were you?
And dance. And then real life kicked in and I just started getting jobs
Yeah.
and carried on working.
Okay. So what did you go into? What kind of jobs did you go into whenever you went into the?
So when I left the public boys' school, I'd been offered this job, another catering job, way across London, and I never got a letter from them. And it come up to the last couple of days, and I contacted them, and they went, "Oh, sorry, we meant to write you. The job isn't available anymore." So I thought, okay. So I had to go temping, and I was going to go to catering places to get catering jobs. And I don't know why, I just thought, no, I'm going to go into one for temping for admin, that kind of thing. So I did that. I got a couple of jobs, like British Rail in their filing centre at Paddington. Really? And then I got a job at Islington Council to go there to move the library for a week. Yeah.
To move the library.
To move their library from one room to another room.
Okay.
I ended up there for about 17 years,
Oh.
with a gap of a couple of years, but I ended up managing the whole of the admin department.
You weren't moving the library the whole time, were you?
No,
one book at a time.
yeah, 17
it
years.
did happen a
17
couple of
years.
times.
I love that. So you ended up managing. So you worked for 17 years and managed.
Well, yeah, I was there for 3 years, and I left because I got a job in a dating agency, organising the dates. So I would set up the dates. They were called Only Lunch. Set up the dates. Then they would go on the date. I would have booked it for them. They would then give me their feedback, and then I would help get them matched for their next date.
What? It's an exciting little interlude. And was it straight dates?
Yes.
Yes, all straight.
There was no
okay.
gay dating in that.
There's no gay dating there at all, unfortunately. And then I
So you were a straight matchmaker? Oh my
something
god!
like that. And then I worked in the Millennium Dome in 2000 as a host for the year the Dome was open.
Oh my god!
Got a job in Selfridges after that, and I was there for about 4 months and hated it, and went back to Islington Council, got my old job back, and worked up and ended up managing all the admin department.
Amazing! Wow! So 17 years in with that little break, 17 years in council. What was it like for you? I guess in that time, you, like you said before, you find out who needs to know your business, who you make friendships with. Who was there ever points in that? Was that a very straight feeling environment, or was that quite? Were there pockets of kind of acceptance? What was it like?
Well, it was Islington.
Okay.
So
Paint the picture.
It was quite open and friendly generally, although there were some issues over the time. I think there was a registrar that refused to do civil partnerships in a team where there were LGBT people who worked there as well, so that caused a lot of friction.
Yeah.
My team, generally, I worked with most of them for most of the time I was there. So, after I got to know them, after the first few months and stuff, I kind of came out and they knew me for a long time. I still know them now.
Yeah.
So, it was all pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's come up a few times where there's been people who've been in a position to have teams and to manage teams and to bring people in and create kind of foster an inclusive environment just by being themselves, but also by showing that kind of example of being different to the norm or different to what people expect.
Yeah, and I think, just because you're in a place that's considered to be an open environment doesn't mean everyone in it is going to be open
Exactly.
to the people that are there.
Yeah.
And generally, everyone was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we did have a few people that weren't very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get those, don't you?
Yeah.
We get a few of those. What about you, Sam? So you went off to university. Where did you go to university?
Leeds. I just told you about how remote the place I'm from, so I needed to get out and be somewhere a bit more exciting. But I also didn't want to go somewhere that was so far away. So Leeds was maybe an hour away. So it's a good compromise that it was far enough away and exciting, but it also wasn't it was easy to get back if I needed to. But then I ended up, Leeds is such a cool place. I think Leeds and Brighton have a lot of similarities in terms of how there's so much focus on really cool independence and different communities and stuff. They're both very cool places. Leeds is still one of my favorite places ever, and I ended up being there for about 10 years altogether after I was did uni and then got a job and then stayed there until I had to move to London for work. So it was cool. I miss it.
So what was your first job after uni then? What did you study at uni?
English. My uni experience wasn't very straightforward. I actually went to, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. I literally remember sitting on my bed with all the prospectuses and just being with the pages open, just flicking through and closing my eyes and looking just to see what was, I didn't know what to do.
I never knew.
And no one I don't know. I was at college and stuff happened in my personal life at college and didn't really focus that much at college. Still got all right grades, but then when it came to going to uni, I was I just don't know what I want to do. People are you can literally go and study anything you want. What do you want to do? And I'm it's too much choice. I don't want to do. So I ended up studying a course called Media and Popular Culture. And it sounds fun, but when the reality of it was just they'd taken all the dregs from all the other courses and kind of put them all together. One lecture, we literally sit and watch The Hills. And I was
there's a thread here.
Okay, I love the just being reality TV.
You had the simple life, and then you had The Hills.
That wasn't by choice though. They were just we came in one day. They were we watch it, and I was
watching this.
I paid $3,000 a year for this. So what's going on? But I just hated it. So then I was I need to do something else. So went to, and there was a lot of people on my course. There's a lot of people on my course weren't very nice as well. And I remember sitting outside one of the seminar rooms, and the people that I didn't like, that weren't very nice, like walked into the seminar room. I was like, do you know what? I'm out. Went to the desk and was like, 1 new course, please. And they were like, what? You can't change now. So I had to like start again the next year. So I ended up studying English, English literature, which was great. It was just like reading books for 3 years and talking about them. So that was fun. But then at the end of that, it was like, okay, what do you do now? Because you have an English degree. What am I going to do? Write a book or be in a play or something? Like I still didn't know what to do, even after studying for so long. So then just sort of fell into working in PR off the back of that. All of the people that I lived with all studied PR. So I was like, I knew a bit about it anyway. And I remember like walking home from a night out, and this sounds really weird, but I met a man on a bridge. Like it was a bit, and we started chatting about work. It was all like above board.
All above board. Met the man on the bridge.
Yeah, no, just like walking home.
Okay.
And we started talking about work experience, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have any work experience. Like, what am I going to do? Like when I finish, like my graduation was looming, and I was like, I genuinely. So then I started interning for a PR agency, and ended up working there for like 7 years. Ended up becoming an account director there.
Oh my God.
So just literally like, but if it wasn't for that random man on the bridge, don't know who he is. It was his birthday. That's all I remember. And he was doing. I don't know why we stopped talking about work.
What? And he encouraged you to do a PR apprenticeship, or he
was like talking about how important work experience is.
Work experience, yeah, of course.
Before you finish uni, you can't just finish uni and start applying for jobs. And I was like, no one. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but like, no. I was like, no one told me about this. What do you mean? So then started interning for a PR agency, and then that became my job.
That is the biggest thing now, I think, though, because, you know, this whole idea of apprenticeships and stuff, because I got my first job, I was in Burberry for 7 years, and it was such a good job to start with. Got to find a really good team, a really good boss, and got sort of propelled through that job and through that company really well. But that started with me applying for a free, they pay for your travel, but like an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just getting into the building, getting in for like a 3-month thing. I ended up getting a job within a month. One of the guy who ran menswear at the time gave me a job. But it was that thing of getting into the building. I think that's what's really hard now with people not really offering a lot of apprenticeships. They still do it in the fashion industry a bit. But a lot of the times apprenticeships are hard to get, and they're hard, I believe that getting in front of people, using your skills and making connections within companies is so important. But there's loads of things around how much they're paid and how much you can do.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, especially in PR in like, I mean, I work in the beauty industry now, but like in the beauty and fashion industry, like it typically, historically, like interns have just been so taken advantage of. And also those roles, if it's like a long, so mine was like when I did an intern, I mean, I call it an internship, I guess it was, but it was just me working for free, like a day a week for I don't know, like a year until that landed me some sort of job. Yeah.
Is it like the Devil Wears Prada?
It is a bit like that. There was one job that I did, and we were working at the YouTube studios doing like a live stream of these interviews, and I was the intern, so I was like running down Tottenham Court Road with like a box of donuts in one hand and like a thing of coffees in the other hand, on the phone to someone who was late, like trying to order their cabs for them, and it was like running along like I was on Hathaway. And I remember thinking that moment, I was like, oh my God, it is like the Devil Wears Prada.
It is.
A bit like Emily in Paris as well.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people say I've not seen. I watched one episode of Emily in Paris and was like, "What is this trash? I can't watch this."
Oh, it is trashy, but it's so good.
But those people have been like, "It's literally. This is literally your job. Like, it's absolutely what you do." And I'm like, okay, maybe I should watch it then.
Yeah.
It is trashy, but it is addictive.
I mean, I told you about The Simple Life and The Hills, so I'm
You're done
clearly
with
into
it.
trashy
Yeah.
TV. Yeah.
So when you were in university, because we've talked a lot about this, people in university, it's been very different. Like for their like LGBTQ self, lots of people find that they felt themselves when they went to uni more.
Well, you can play a bit with identity, can't you? You can play a bit with
I'm just interested in that. When you went to uni, did
that... I guess I went from when I was in college. I mean, I've been out since I was 16, so I was still I was still in school, which even in 2007 when that was pretty early. Like there was like not the big prides that we have now. It was still very like shocking news when I was still in school. I think I'd just finished my GCSEs, so I was in school a little bit, and I remember like the day after walking around school and every single kid was looking at me, and I was like, what the hell?
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. But then I went to college, and then it was a bit more, there was like more gay people around in college. Still not that many though. Maybe there was like 10 of us in the whole college.
Yes, and
that college was Nottingham, and there was a couple of gay bars in Nottingham. So I started having those like nightlife experiences, you know, and the whole like going to gay bars and hanging out with drag queens and all that sort of stuff that you do. So when I moved to uni, it wasn't that much of a shock because I kind of already done it. But then I felt like I got like loads, like start to make friends with other gay people and all that sort of stuff, which wasn't. It's not really the same experience as being in the small village with the old ladies.
No. And what about you worked in PR then, that you ended up working in that company that you did the internship in. Was it quite, were there a lot of gay, queer people about? I work, the agency that I worked for that specialised in kind of like half in the beauty industry and half in the hospitality, which is mostly like straight men, and then the beauty industry is like I just work with a lot of women, so I actually don't work with that many gay. And it's also like the hairdressing industry specifically, and everyone's like, oh my god, all men hairdressers are gay, and I'm like, no, they're not. Like so many straight men, especially the ones that are like talked about quite a lot for whatever reason. There's so many straight men in hairdressing. I guess it was the same, because people think that of the fashion industry. I was kind of in, like I said, I was in Burberry for 7 years and then a tailoring company after that. So it wasn't really that queer. Like there weren't that many people from.
People just assume I'm a woman all the time because my name's Sam on my emails. Like when I worked for my old boss, her name's Sharon, and we were like Shaz and Sam, and we'd get emails like, "Hi ladies," and then my boss would always be like, when you meet Sam, it's going to be so funny because I'm a 6'5" man.
6'5".
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Or when they answer the phone, they're like, "Oh," because so many, like you don't expect a 6'5" rugby player to work in beauty PR.
Can I speak to Sam?
Literally.
She too a bit younger than me. I had to live a double life for a few years because when I went to college, I was mainly with all women on my theatre course. So it was a different situation there. But when I was back home and with my family and the people that were around me, it was a whole different thing. On my 18th birthday, they got me a policewoman's strippogram.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and that was like, and I had people from my college course come to my party, and I'd been all like, you have to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
And then this strippogram appeared, and I was mortified. I bet you were.
Do you know it's funny though, isn't it? Because you get those things where, I mean, things have changed in a way and things haven't, but there's that assumption or expectation, and there's a lot of that stuff at the minute where people are really, using those old lines like, I don't mind who you are, but don't like make it like, why do you have to force it, or even worse in education, why do you have to teach kids so early, why do you have to push it on them or push it down their throats? It's pushed on, it's assumed on us all the time. Straightness is assumed all the time.
When I first went to Islington, we had a receptionist, and she said, "Oh, I don't mind that you're gay, but I don't know why you can't keep it behind closed doors."
Wow.
It's just horrendous, isn't it? It's the double standard, the hypocrisy of it, of how much do you put onto kids from birth on like assumed heterosexuality, and how much is that messing them up in later life?
Yeah, she also said I can always tell a gay man because they have small hands, and I was like,
stop it.
Oh, really?
These are not small hands.
Oh my
God.
So what age did you come out at then, was it?
I'd say it was staggered.
Right,
so on my college course, I came out when I was about 19.
Yeah.
But with my mum and my mum's family, it was 21. And with my dad's family, who live out in deep, dark Essex, I was about 38.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's very different life. And my dad was very different to like my London family and so on.
Right.
His life was very different.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because I think the common theme with everyone we've spoken to on these episodes, but also just in our friends and things, it is an odd thing coming out. Like it's sometimes, I mean, for some people it's glorious and it's so freeing. And I know for me it's been, come out several times while I've figured out what I am and who I am. But each time it is something that's freeing within yourself, because you're kind of relinquishing those kind of restraints. But also to come out to people can sometimes feel like an endless, exhaustive task that you don't have to really. Why should you have to do it other than just be yourself?
One of the reasons was because I was playing rugby for the King's Cross Steelers, who were the first
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you
gay
about them.
rugby team.
Yeah, they're up in London,
in
King's
London.
Cross. Yeah.
West Ham.
Oh, West Ham. Okay.
And we were playing in Essex. So one of the games I was going to play at was about 10 minutes drive from my family. And I'd said I was playing rugby. I kind of omitted to say anything about the team. And then they wanted to come over and see me. And I was like, okay, I need to say something now because this could all get very awkward.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons why I came out to them.
Okay. And the response was?
Well, I bottled out with telling my dad, and I told my stepmother, who told my dad, and they were kind of okay about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think my dad was a very different person by this point to who he'd been when I was younger.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
People change when they mature, don't they?
Yeah, my stepmother changed him. She made life very different for them.
Okay. And so let's talk about then about sports. So have you always been into sport then? You said you were playing for the King's Cross Steelers.
No, I mean, I knew about them all the time. They started in 1994.
Okay.
And I knew about them all the time.
And you said they
that
were the
they were going.
first gay
Back
or
in
inclusive,
95, yes.
the
they
first
were
inclusive rugby club.
That's right.
Right.
And I knew about them from the time they started up, but I'd never played rugby at school. I'd not really been happy playing sport because there was a lot of uncomfortableness around changing rooms and things like that. And all I'd ever heard was gay men don't do sport. Gay men can't do something like rugby. And then eventually a few times I was out in London and someone would come up, give me a card, say, come along to training. And I eventually met some of the guys. They got me to go to training. And then I joined in 2004. Wow. So that was when they were 9 years old. And then I was there for their 10th anniversary.
Nice. And they're still going now, aren't they?
They are. They've just celebrated their 30th anniversary. Wow. I went along to a dinner at the Stoop at Twickenham for the 30th anniversary a month or so ago. And we had a do at the House of Lords.
Oh.
Nice. Nice. And what about Sam? What about your foray into sport? Were you sporty as a kid? Or
No,
did you
I
discover
think
it later?
I think you'll find with a lot of the players actually, everyone has quite similar stories when it comes to. It's like almost like a shared experience that we all have from like all this PTSD from PE, not being involved, not being exactly not being told that you. I just thought it's because I went to a rough school and they used to make flamethrowers in the changing rooms with the deodorant and the light.
Yeah.
It was rough, but I used to think that was the reason, and then like obviously as I've grown up, I was like, I just was never comfortable. It wasn't because I was like, because I didn't like the atmosphere. I was just I don't know. I just feel like it was ingrained in me that it wasn't that's not a space that I belonged in.
And it's those stories, isn't it? Like Byron, you said, it's the story that you get told about like gay people can't do this and those kind of limits that people put on you. And even if you think whatever way you think you are, who you are, you kind of are forming yourself and your identity, and you're like, oh well, that's not the route for me. And actually it's also, like you say, embedded with all those things. I was terrified of the changing room whenever I was a kid. Like I went to a school that it wasn't rough, it was a nice school. It was a good kind of well-to-do school, I guess, but it was the locker rooms were rough, and I was picked on and bullied horrendously, and I always look back and think I could have, I'm physical, I like sport, I like that kind of thing. I could have been good at sport, but it was just never an option for me, I guess. But yeah, it does PTSD, like you mentioned. It is that thing of
Interesting, yeah.
What did you
we talked about it in the car.
We had I've got all and everyone has like, it's funny because they all have similar things. Like some when we first started training, when you'd hear like the thud of a rugby ball being kicked, and you'd like hear like a war veteran like here's a bomb going off, or like here's a loud thing, and they think they're like in that's like, because people used to, in the school I went to, again it was very rough, but they like hold people's faces down and like kick balls into their faces and stuff, like a full pelt. And when you hear that sound, you just think, oh my god, like it takes you straight back to that, like being bullied, or even like not even being directly bullied, even like being picked last, or like
That's the thing.
all
Being
of that,
picked last,
being left out, you know, all of that sort of stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
it's a horrible feeling, and you carry that with you your whole life. So this, I get, and I'm sure loads of the other guys would say this as well, especially people that have come through Try Rugby the same as what I did. So they do this. It's like a few months course, but it's basically designed to people that have never played rugby before. That you come along to your first session with other people that are in the same situation, and you learn all the skills for the first time, which is also terrifying, but really fun. And everyone's really welcoming and lovely and supportive. Where was I going with that?
Is that how you started then?
Yeah.
That's
Did
how
you
found the
start in Brighton
Serpents?
in rugby? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've only been doing it for like less than a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
And how's he doing, Byron?
I think he's doing all right.
Thanks.
He's doing all right.
I don't technically train anymore, so I
you
don't
don't?
get to see
Yeah, you don't
him.
get to see.
I don't get to
don't.
see him at training sessions, so I've moved beyond that.
You just go to the events, darling. You just show up with a glass of champagne.
I am very much still learning.
He's quite physical because he's a big guy. So
There's just so much to learn. It's such a complicated game. Everyone's like, it's easy. All you got to do is get the ball, run forward. I'm like, no. There's so much like complexity, and you don't want to be the one that like messes up because you don't know a rule or whatever. I've done that a few times. But I'm still learning. Like last season, so you do this course if you do Try Rugby. That's what I was saying. If you do Try Rugby, you learn all of the sort of skills, and then you sort of initiated in a graduation game, and then you're part of the team. So I did that, and a lot of the other boys that I did that with, a lot of people will say the same thing. Like they all have these shared experiences that we all have, and this is a way to get over that, and it's great because you don't have to have any knowledge or anything like that. You don't have to have these skills before. They literally teach you everything. So it opens this gate, so you can just come in and do it, and it's great.
Yeah. And this is the reason why we get guys through. We do get some guys through who are gay who played rugby when they were younger, but a lot of guys just didn't do it, or they did very little of it, or avoided it as a youngster. So now when they come to it as an adult, it's a whole different experience, and they need to start from scratch. Whereas a lot of the, heteronormative clubs, are we calling them now? The straight clubs, their guys come up from minis, youths, colts,
They've got a
into
whole
the adult
progression.
team. So we don't have that.
Yeah.
So how did the Sea Serpents, how did they start in Brighton? So was it 10 years, 2015?
Yeah, so we just had our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I moved to Brighton in 2014, and I retired from the Steelers. And then I got down here, and our president Ian Chaplin lives in Hove.
Oh yes.
So we have like a governing body for our gay clubs, our LGBT clubs, and the people who were involved in running it at the time were sort of saying, why isn't there a club in Brighton? And I kind of really remember Ian going, well, I don't know, maybe they already play for Hove or they play for Brighton, but I can look into it. And I distinctly remember saying, I can help. And we started looking into it, and we kind of got a lot of positive messages that there would be people who were interested. We organised a meeting in the Camelford Arms.
Love
and we had about 30 people turn up. Some as interested just to see what was happening, some as supporters, but some as players. And we were kind of like, right, okay. And then it was like, well, we have to do something now. So in the sort of towards the end of the year, it was sort of October, November, I started taking training sessions in Queen's Park. And I think it's like an old bit where used to be bowls or something in the corner of the park.
Yeah.
So we'd all meet up there, which was really handy for me because I lived just down the road. And we started doing some ball handling sessions, getting to know you sessions, and I take like a tug of war rope and things like that. And I used to go around and try and remember 20 people's names. I can't do that anymore. And then we were talking to Brighton and Hove rugby clubs about moving there. And and we picked Hove because it was near the train, and we just thought, we're not going to get these people coming down and then getting up to Brighton Rugby Club because it's kind of miles out.
Yeah.
And not everyone drives. It's difficult. So we moved into Hove Rugby Club in the January, and I've been getting guest coaches down because my experience was in the forwards, in the scrum.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, in terms of training, limited to ball handling skills and what we did in the front row, which isn't going to suit the people that would be out back.
Yeah.
So I got guest coaches in, a lot from the Steelers, and then we found our first coach, Tom, and we went from there.
So you really built it from the idea, from the question of why is there not one there, and you built it from that. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to a meeting. We had someone helping us at the time who didn't stay around very long, but I ended up going to a meeting at the Camelford Arms, and they were our first sponsor. But at the time, we'd had a few pints before we went in, and I remember just holding it together, having this conversation about would they sponsor us and would they be on our kit, and in the end of the conversation was kind of like yes, and I was like okay, and I managed to get out the door and then nearly fell over.
Well done.
So nothing's changed then.
Well, you know, it's a true rugby.
Yeah, that's
Spirit.
Did so what was it like going to the rugby club, the Hove Rugby Club, which is, I guess, the straight rugby club? What was it like going to them with that proposition, and what was the response, and how did that go?
It was very positive. I started going along to their training sessions and playing with Hove 3 just to start getting that into the rugby club, which was interesting because suddenly I was subjected to very different conversations in the dressing room about women, the size of their breasts and things like that, which I just hadn't had. Well, other bits of anatomy maybe. But male
Same
anatomy.
chat,
Oh,
different
Byron.
bits.
So,
right, okay,
Don't you love that you called it the dressing room?
I
That's
was
such
just
a
I
good
might
thing.
just say that.
Changing room.
When we're in the dressing
so
room,
good.
darling,
Yeah.
you're amateur
So-
dressing.
and I did training with them, and I played some games with them.
Yeah.
And then our guys started coming along in the January, and I think it took them a little while to get used to the fact there was this other team there. But as a club, they were very welcoming. They had a lovely woman who managed the bar called Jill, and she'd take our kit and she'd wash it for us and all sorts. Yeah, she really looked after us, and she retired, unfortunately. And then they got Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Tyler.
Tyler
He's going
watched
to listen to
everything.
this.
And so how did then you joined a year ago, so how did you decide, what made you go to become?
So I just wanted. I mean, I've started helping on the board as well now. I don't know how that happened. It's the same as you.
Yeah, you said
I'll
congrats.
help,
Yeah.
and then you just get like sucked into it.
You
But
allowed yourself to get elected.
I
That's
did.
how it
Yeah, I
happened.
took it
Yeah,
too
there we
far.
go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It's all gone too far.
Yeah, but I just think when there's things just don't get done if people don't do them. They need volunteers.
Yeah.
They need people to grow the club.
I'm
Like
one of those,
the
yeah.
club has done so much for me. I feel like I just want to give back, and in such a short space of time as well. I want to give back as well. And if I've got like a skill or I can help in some way, I will. I'll do that. So that's how I've managed to get myself involved
I think
at this level.
when you've got a small group of people,
Yeah.
it's hard to get everything done you need to do, and
Yeah.
you're trying to help across different roles. It was very much when I worked in the dating agency, there was about 5 of us worked there. So I had my job, but when the woman that did the sales went to lunch, I had to jump in and take the sales calls, which I'd never really done before. And it's a bit like that in the rugby team.
It's funny, I was going to say, because we help businesses all the time that are various sizes, and always, obviously, people have different jobs and different things, but it's fascinating because actually everyone is going towards getting something done. And we always remind kind of business owners and leadership teams that you're all going towards the same mission of what that is. And it's not just a money mission. It's a mission for what you want to change, what you want to do in the world, what you want to, what impact you want to have, which is why all that mission and strategy is so important. But the same for the club. It's like this club is doing so much for so many people, and the mission is to keep it going and keep it product.
Yeah, people
keep it
forget
going,
that it's the club is a business as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we have to bring in money. We have to bring in sponsorship.
Exactly,
Like we have some amazing sponsors who we work with, and we're looking for more sponsors to help us out with various things. Like one of our big things is that we don't want the cost of things to be a deterrent from people wanting to get involved. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be very inclusive,
Yeah.
but we need money to be able to support those people. So
Yeah.
we're constantly on the lookout for support. We're fundraising, or we're looking for sponsors, or we're doing something. I think it's very easy when you just come and you turn up and you play, like I was doing for so long. It's just really to forget all of that, the business side of
Yeah.
it. Or if you're just like more sports minded, you just kind of when you actually look into it, you're like, oh my god, it's like, this is actually really hard work. It takes like a small little army to make it all happen.
So how many games do you play? So obviously, how many games do you play a season, or was it?
Well, it's gone up and down because at one point we were in the Sussex Leagues as well as our IGR games. So we were, and a lot of friendlies. So we were playing virtually every week in the first sort of 4 or 5 years. We had a very much quieter season last season because we're in this position where we're kind of nearly at 2 teams, but we just need a little more push to be able to get enough people out to play 2 games on the same day.
Okay.
So next season, so last season, I think we played about, I want to say about 15, 16 games during the season.
Oh, yeah, I can't
But
remember.
next season, we're going into 2 leagues. So we're going back into the Sussex Leagues. So we'll be playing local teams. And then we're going into our IGR league again and looking for friendly games. So we could be into like 20 to 30 games.
So what's your RGR? Is that
IGR.
It stands for International Gay Rugby. It's like the league
IGR,
that we play in,
yeah.
yeah. So in the UK, there's like the Northern and the Southern leagues. So we play teams, like the Steelers, they're part of IGR. So the Steelers, the Stags there in London. You have the Renegades in Reading. The West Country Wasps, they're like down in Devon somewhere. You have the
Cornwall,
Bristol Bice. There's loads of teams.
We met
They're all
we
sort
met the Manchester team, didn't we?
Yeah,
Radio
the
Manchester.
Village
Oh,
Park.
did you?
They're in the
Yeah, we played them. We went up to Manchester and did a friendly with them. That was the last game I played of the season, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
And if you were asking how I was doing, I won forward of the match. Did you know that? You were there?
You won what?
Manchester?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't in Manchester.
What did you do?
You every game there's forward of the match, back of the match,
And you won
and
forward
Dick of the
match.
Day. I've also won Dick of the Day twice, so maybe
Dick
I'm
of the
maybe
day.
I'm
What
not
do you
doing
have to
too
do to
well.
win Dick of the Day?
First
Tell our lovely
time-
listeners.
What did I do the first time? The first time was for. So it was actually the captain did something wrong. The captain of that game was my first ever game that I played. He tried to score a try at the wrong line. He was like 5 meters to it. That was like stupid. So I was like, you should give yourself Dick of the Day. And because I gassed him up so much when it came to announcing it, he's not allowed to give it to himself, so he gave it to me. And if you get Dick of the Day, you have to down a pint. So that was the first time. The second time we didn't. I didn't technically get it because we didn't technically have one, but if we did, I would have got it, and that was really stupid. I broke a rule that I didn't know what you're supposed to do. It was really embarrassing.
So if you think Steelers were Team 1 30 years ago,
Right.
there's probably 300 plus around the world now.
Wow.
In Brighton, we were Team 69.
69.
years
That's
ago.
my favourite number.
Actually.
Wow.
That was
So it's
our
about
number.
300 now. And okay.
Yeah, 300 plus. I don't know the exact number, but there's
What?
everywhere.
Tell me this: what is your so you started in 2015? What is your proudest achievement, or what has been your biggest achievement that you feel in your time with the Serpents?
So for me, we went to one of our tournaments, which was in Amsterdam. So we have a European tournament called the Union Cup, and then we have a World Cup called the Bingham Cup.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's in Brisbane next month. Unfortunately, it's a lot of money to go to Brisbane, and guys here in Brighton can't afford that. It's not, they don't have the salaries of the London guys mostly and stuff like that. So at the moment, the Bingham Cup is a bit unattainable for us, which is a shame because I've been to like New York, Sydney, and I'd love for the guys to be able to do stuff like that, but it has to be affordable.
Yeah.
So the Union Cup in Amsterdam, we went, I can't think of the year off the top of my head, but we were about mid-level in the tournament. and we got all the way to the final, and we won our first sort of major award, and we beat the King's Cross Steelers to get it.
Stop it.
So it was, and when we'd had our first game, we played against the King's Cross Steelers, and they'd won because of their guys had a lot more experience. There was like me and a whole team of guys who this was their first ever game. But at that tournament, we won this big award.
Oh, congrats. Wow.
So,
amazing.
So for me, that's one of the highlights. And we also, in the days when we had the Golden Handbag Awards, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
We won that a couple of times for like Brighton's favourite sports team. So that was good as well. And one of the things, and I've said this to him in the last month or two since he's been on board, we used to do a lot more in the community, and we haven't done so much for a few years. Since Sam's been on board, we've started doing a lot more in the community.
I'm scared what you're going to say then.
Really,
You're going to tell me off or something?
I know. I think you're in trouble.
I'm really pleased about that. I think we need to be more involved in the community in Brighton.
Absolutely. You're so loved. I mean, everything that I've ever seen out and about is Cherry Bomb or any time that Serpents are ever mentioned, just so it feels like a really proud, loved thing about the city. So it's it's a genuinely lovely thing. And whenever you're there, you were at Bear Weekend, weren't you, getting super soaked?
No, I was doing the super soak.
Oh, you were doing
that
the
was
super
probably the
soak,
stupidest thing the club has ever bought or ever done, giving me a water pistol.
Whilst I worked behind the bar for 5 hours.
I was doing marketing, actually.
I'm not sure the portioning of jobs.
The point of that, we did it because one of our things we wanted to do was get people to pay to soak us. It was fundraising, right? We want to go to Lisbon next year for the Union Cup. But like I said, and Maya was saying, a lot of people can't afford to all this travel and hotels, and the costs just add up. You have to pay for the registration, everything that's involved. We want to be able to subsidise people's involvement in that. The players.
So that's the plan.
If people are lower income, they should. We don't want them to not come because of that. So we're doing as much fundraising as we can in the next year. It's in Lisbon in July, which is crazy because it's gonna be so hot. So we're all fundraising. A lot of it is going towards that now. We were talking about this last night. So Bear Weekend is an example of that. We wanted people to pay to soak us with these water pistols, but it was started off quite slow. So we were like, let's just go around soaking people, shall we, and see how that works.
So you did that instead.
So it was supposed to be a bit of a marketing thing, and then I just got a bit addicted to it and just couldn't put it down. And it ended up being really fun. And it was also a very hot day. So.
We also have a number of trans guys, and we're joining with a team called the Transmanian Devils, who are a trans team to make a second team.
Oh, brilliant.
But generally, trans guys have a harder time financially. And so we're looking to try and support them as much as we can to get them to the tournament as well, because it's a real big thing for them. So for us to have them with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. We want to...
So is that the next milestone then? That's the next target, the fundraising target to get to there? Because you said the Bingham Cup is out of... It's out of...
It is for this year, but Bingham's happening again in 2028.
Oh,
is it? So Bingham, they alternate. So it's like Bingham one year, Union next year, Bingham the next year. Okay. So that the next one's... But they're doing it's going through the bids for that now.
Yeah, we just voted today on where we would like it to be.
Okay.
And... the issue is a lot of the places are like Mexico, Vancouver, which is the same issue as Brisbane. One of the options is Dublin, where I've been to tournaments before, which have been great experiences. And as things stand, that's a lot more attainable for us.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to vote with what works for our club, but that doesn't mean that's what everyone's going to vote for.
Yeah, I get that.
So how much? What have you got a target for next year? What's the target? Do you have a target?
We don't. Yeah, it's sort of just. Well, we were having this conversation yesterday. We were thinking everything from now on. You're right. That is the next big thing. Everything now, fundraising. It's all going to that. It's going back into the players. It's helping them. Like sponsorship as well. We're starting to look for sponsors. A lot of clubs will get like a corporate sponsor just to sponsor that tour. To help the players out, just to help them get somewhere, because it means so much to them, and it means so much to the community for us all to be involved. Like we're repping Brighton and Hove in these international places,
and we can wear kit and take banners with company's
So if
name
anyone's
on.
listening,
I was going to say,
That's why I'm asking.
Listeners,
Yeah, so it's kind of like,
we're on a mission to
On
get
a mission,
some
so if you're
sponsorships for the so that you can make it in all your glory and
Yeah.
subsidize and to support the team to be there.
And we always try to promote our sponsors when we're in any situations like that. And if we could find a specific sponsor for the tournament, we'd obviously emblazon them everywhere we go.
Yeah, nice.
well, we will get some email addresses off you and we'll put it in the text of the podcast so that people can then go via there.
Tell us just you've heard the sponsor side, but in terms of players, I mean, looking for more players to get involved, more people to get involved. Are you always looking for more people? Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still running the Try Rugby program every year. I think the next one will start in September.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll do a big drive for that. If anyone's following us on social, they'll see a lot about that once that's happening. At the minute, we're talking a lot about Pride because we're going to be in Pride very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the parade.
Marching in the parade,
Yes.
repping the Serpents. There'll be quite a few of us there doing that. And we've been in, like Byron said, we've done a lot of like community-based things recently.
Nice.
But we'll be talking about Try Rugby a lot over the next few months. We want to spread the word as much as possible and get a lot of people involved in that.
And experienced players are always welcome as well, because that if we're aiming to have these two teams out, two sides, we do need experienced players to take the levels that the developing players can't necessarily play at the moment.
Of course.
And help bring them along.
So any level of experience, but if you are listening and you're an experienced rugby player, they can
And
get.
how do you get involved? Is there a website?
There is a website.
What's the website,
If you just
Sam?
Google Brighton Sea Serpents, you'll find us. We'll be
Okay,
all
I
there.
just wanted you to say that.
The website, is we're gonna maybe we'll change the URL of this, bhssrfc.com or Instagram. Just search Sea Serpents on Instagram. That's probably the best. I mean, there's a lot of information on the
Ways,
website.
yeah.
Everything you need to know about touch rugby, try rugby, the players, all this sort of stuff. But Instagram is where it's at, and also you can send us a message, and we're at the other end of the Instagram, so we can answer
back to Instagram
questions.
messages.
Yeah, and that's an important one. Touch rugby, we're always trying to develop that because contact rugby isn't for everybody. And sometimes people with their jobs, they don't want to get injured. But touch rugby is a good way to get fit, meet other people, be part of the club in another way. So at the moment, it's more of a summer thing, and a lot of our contact players roll out of contact into touch. But at some point, we're looking to expand that into a year-round activity, and it means that we can reach more members of the community because people that can't play contact rugby, trans women, for example, they can play touch.
It's different because there's tag rugby as well, isn't there?
There is. Is
that where you
slightly
rip the
different,
thing off? Yeah, it's different. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes when I tell people to play rugby, they go, "Oh, tag rugby," and I'm like, "No."
Because tag rugby is where they rip it off. Is there something on your shoulder that they rip off?
Is that more like Kiss Chase?
I'm lost. Yeah. Back to your dating days.
Anyway, we're fast approaching the end of the episode.
We are.
You can't end on Kiss Chase. Come on,
Now we won't end the Kiss
I
Chase.
guess I want to hear, just before we finish, I want to, you've talked a bit about what sport, both of you, what sport has done for you and things. And I think that we've mentioned that, definitely from my past, sport has a bit of a thing in my past of not being the fondest memory, and I think for a lot of people listening it would be the same. But what is it the sport do you think has given you? What have both of you felt that sport has doing this, being in this team or sport in general has done for you?
I wanted to get involved because of the same, because what we talked about the sort of PTSD from the childhood of missing out on all of this, but also just to like be part of something and be part of a community and feel like I'm doing something worthwhile. Like I love my job, and I have some amazing clients, but I don't feel like I reach people in the same way. And I work in a team all across Europe, and it's quite not lonely, but it can feel a bit like that. So I just want to be around people all the time and be part of something. And so playing has given me that, and it's given me so much. But then recently, like in the last few months, I mean, all of this has happened very quickly, but in the last few months, or even quicker than that, I have been, like part of the board and part of the helping out with comms and going to board meetings. And so like, I'm starting to learn the business side of it as well. And even that, like doing stuff that means something for the team. It's just so fulfilling.
It's so important as well. If people get involved, who knows where that could go, because they might be getting involved from a sport perspective, but they might get involved in the business side, or they might be able to help out with different things.
It's absolutely changed my life. From this time last year, like I'm a completely different person because of it, and it's great.
I love that.
For me, it gave me a lot of confidence. So before I joined the Steelers, I was probably a lot quieter, and I remember going along to my first session thinking, I've been in the gay scene for a few years. They're all going to judge me. They're all going to think I'm fat. I'm not going to be any good. And I turned up, and the first thing I had to do was get undressed in the changing room. And they were judging me, but not on any of those things. They were, as I worked out later, they were all going, oh, is he going to be a hooker? Is he going to be a prop? What position is he going to play? And it was very different to what I'd kind of experienced before in the gay scene and what I thought it was going to be like. And then I was on their committee. I was the team captain.
Yeah.
So by the time I left them and we started this, I had a lot more confidence. I would never have been able to, with Ian, start this team if I hadn't have gone through that experience with the King's Cross Steelers.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I think we always end in the same thing, which is what advice. I mean, we've talked about how people get involved in stuff, but what kind of advice would you give to someone who wanted to get involved with sports or join their local teams? Or
it sounds so cliche, but you just have to do it. You just have to do it. And I cannot stress that enough. Like before I went to my first training session, this is a perfect example. I was in a car, parked up next to the rugby club, and I was texting my friend being like, I don't think I can do it. Like, I don't think I can get out of the car. I genuinely, I was so scared. And I was like voice noting her, and I can still find these voice notes now, and and still was walking along with voice note, be like, oh my God, I'm so scared, and then the messages stop from, she's like, just do it, like, you'll regret it if you don't, blah, blah, blah. And the messages stop, and then it literally jumps to 2 hours later, and it's a message from me being like, oh my God, I loved it. And that was it. And it just takes that first step. And it sounds so easy for me to say it. Like, I was talking to someone at Bear Weekend about who wants to come along. And I was like, it is hard. Yes, it is. And everybody has the same thing. But as soon as you get there and you realise how lovely these guys are and how nice everybody is and how, I mean, rugby is a pretty scary sport, and that will always be the case. But just as long as you feel welcomed by your team and part of this community, then it's going to be so much easier. And that is the advice. I wish there was another way to make it easier for people to take that first step, but all we can say is just talk to us. Like, if you want to message us, or if that's going to make it easy for you to take that first step, but you just have to do it.
It's really interesting because there's so many crossovers with what we teach businesses and things. It's like, just do the first step.
Just do the
first thing.
And it seems so silly, in hindsight, but it's just, you just have to do it.
Any other last nugget of advice, Byron?
No, as he said, just do it. At the end of the day, if you come along to a training session and that part of rugby isn't for you, we do a couple of different styles of rugby, and we have supporters. You know, it might be that you just want to be part of a community, and we have that.
I love that.
Love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
For talking to us. I've loved this. Great chat. And people, get involved. If you want to play a little bit of rugby, September isn't that long away. Get involved.
Or sponsor the team.
Yeah, please. Let's get to Lisbon and winning.
Let's go to Lisbon.
Pre-season training's already started.
Nice.
Oh, don't we feel it? I went to the gym today. I was like, why is it so hard? And then I remember last night we were flipping tires at training, and I was like, that's why it's hard. It was really difficult.
It's hardcore.
Yeah. I was doing the same workout that I already do, and everyone was looking at me like, this guy okay? I was like, I can't believe it. And then I was like, I had this flashback of literally flipping this tire, and I was like, okay, that'll be
On that note, let's go and flip some tires.
Come on, let's go. I dare you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.